Morena, everybody. I wanted to talk to you today, as we are now a week into our lockdown, just to bring some important things to your notice. I do hope that you are doing all right in your online bubbles. So, take a look at the screen in front of you. First important thing for you to realize is that all our previous lessons are now in the archive. So you click on archive at the bottom here, and all previous lessons are there. Please make use of that if you are trying to work out what you've missed and how to catch up. Second really important thing is that your completed speech draft is due on Google Classroom at midnight this Friday, the 27th of August. This is a hard deadline for anybody who, if you don't hand me in something that is a viable speech by that stage, you won't be submitting. However, I want you all to submit a speech, just to let you know that if we hadn't been in lockdown, the draft, so your speech was due today. If we'd still been in class, we'd have been writing it in class. It would have been due today, and then speeches were due to be presented straight after half term next week. Now, we're not going to be having a half term next week, and we haven't yet decided as a department quite what we're going to do about speeches, but it's possible, very possible, that you will be asked to submit your speech via a video recording of yourselves giving it. So it's extremely important that you actually do the preparation and get yourselves ready for this. These are solid credits, really good credits for you to get at level 3 English, and it remains, despite lockdown, a really helpful, useful exercise to do some thinking about this stage in your life, and I hope we get back to class to be able to present them personally. So, deadline Friday. Well done to many of you who are underway with this. Please click there to access the Google Classroom, although actually all of you are all on now, so you shouldn't have to do that. I am going to be emailing relevant parents again this morning because I'm still seeing blank paper. Please be aware that there are resources in the speeches folder below. So look, let's take a look, slide down to the rest of the page. Here is the speeches folder. So these are some extra resources you may not have connected with. This is the speech exemplar that I showed you in class. You can read these notes about the good things about what he does, and you click on there and he pops up and you can watch that at your leisure. Okay, so please make use of that. There are the other brainstorming sheets and preparation sheets are there if you are still way back at the beginning. A couple of you are. Okay, so we're going back to our page here. Please don't click turn in on your work until Friday, because you can't get it back. If you do that, I have to manually return it to you. Now, the most important message that I have for you all, having read the beginning of your speeches, is that I want you to start. You need to have a decent shape to your speech. And I know that just a whole bunch of you are just writing ideas down, and that's fine. But by Friday, your speeches should have an obvious introduction, body, and conclusion. You need to start with a greeting to the class and your teacher. Ideally, you've got a hook of some kind to engage your readers at the very beginning, and this is really important. Introduce the main message that you want to impart. Give us some idea of what it is that you have realized about yourself and about your last 5 years of life and some of the lessons you have learned. Give us an idea of what those lessons are right at the very beginning. I'm going to show you what I can see, and I'm going to click in on Monty Alderson's speech beginning. Can I change that? This is what he's done, which is really good. The phrase "a life less ordinary" means about living a life on your own terms, not the way others expect you to live life. And I've written good. When high school started, I was the kind of person that was very closed and not open to new experiences. And I learned over the years that if you aren't a risk taker and don't take opportunities, you live with that on your shoulder. So he started with his overall message, which is really useful. You can see that he hasn't written very much else yet. He's going to today, I believe. So, an introduction. A body. This is the part of your speech which will include details, examples, anecdotes, perhaps PowerPoint slides or videos to illustrate your ideas. What have you learnt? What are the key events that formed you into who you are today? And then finally, a conclusion, which is just to restate your overall message in an interesting way. So, the really good thing about this task is that I'm not going to be marking your writing as writing. I'm not interested, to be honest, in your punctuation or your spelling or your paragraphing or any of those other annoying things. This is a speech that you are going to deliver, and I'm really only interested in your ideas and the shape of your ideas, what you share with us, and the language that you use to do that. So your second, as well as listening to this screencast lesson today, your second task today is to watch a scene from the movie Dead Poets Society with Robin Williams as the English teacher. It's just a short clip, and I want you to note the way he uses language to communicate with his students. As part of this task, there are some questions for you to consider so you can make purposeful decisions about the language features you will use in your speech, in your own speech. These are language features that are really effective to make his students think, to engage with them, to communicate his ideas. And as you, many of you, move on to the next step, you've got a lot of ideas down, a whole bunch of you, you can think about really honing those language features. How are you addressing your audience? How are you going to communicate your ideas? So please do take a look at that scene and answer those questions. I'm going to leave these two tasks, your writing and the watching of the scene from Dead Poets Society, for these 2 days. So today, Wednesday, tomorrow, Thursday, and I'll do a reminder on Friday morning that your deadline is in the evening on Friday. But these are the two tasks I want you to be looking at, and obviously the writing is the most important thing. Finally, if you do have questions, please email me on this email address or click on add comment down here. If you click on add comment here, that's a public comment that goes on our blog, but many of you are communicating with me via the Google Classroom page. If you type in those boxes to the side of your work, then that is totally private, and please ask for feedback. Please email me. I am going in and giving feedback where I can, and be aware that I'm not making any comments about your writing standard. I'm just wanting to get your ideas on paper, get your ideas into some sort of shape, and in due course, before the presentation date itself is announced, you will have time to practice your speech, to get your brain around what kind of other delivery features you're going to use, like gesture and facial expression and all those kinds of things. You'll have further time to think about those, but you've got to get your writing done by this Friday. Finally, from me, a number of you have asked questions about the internal, this novel study internal. Because I didn't get a chance to return these to you, I haven't decided how we're going to manage this yet, because I've got all your internals at home. I can scan them to you, and that may be what I do, but I will come to that after this Friday's speech deadline. So please just put those out of your mind for the moment. There will be a chance to resub those, but it won't be until after this Friday's speech submission at midnight. All right, please be in touch if you need help. Good luck and have a good day.